Hey yo, hello, and welcome to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back, brother. Nice to see you. Anyways, today we're gonna be going over how I blew 5 Tradeify accounts, but I somehow still made $1,400. Okay, so we're gonna be going over that. Also, I learned a lot today, so I'm gonna be going over the things I learned today and how you can trade using PO3 discretion and stuff like that. Especially drawing liquidity today was pretty obvious, I feel like. And yeah, even though the price action wasn't the best, and honestly, I didn't have the greatest futures day, but I made money on options. That's all that fucking matters. So let's get into it. First, I'm gonna show you the P&Ls, me blowing the account, etc. So this is my P&L on options, $1,400. Yeah, that's live account money. That's my own money, right? I don't need to request that. I'm a boss. And then also, I'm going to show you, to be fully transparent, I blew the Tradeify accounts that made me 60,000 bandos this month. Okay, so breached. This was the P&L counter, and then this was my final win rate with the accounts, etc., etc. So win rate 54%, profit factor, win percentage, and stuff like that. So you can see we literally did not lose a day until that day, and we blew the accounts. Now I won't go over that because I talked about it on Instagram, and it doesn't really matter. I'll explain it in the future, or maybe I'll explain it at the end of the video. Yeah, I'll explain it at the end of the video. But basically, we're going to go over today's price action and how I lost on futures, but I won on options, and how the drawn liquidity was pretty obvious today. First, we're going to start off on the 4-hour time frame. Before market opens, or here, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll start the 4-hour time frame. Before market opens, we have a gap down here. Okay. Actually, let me go back in time. Market open. Before market opens, we have a gap down here. On ES, we have, I'm pretty sure, 2 gaps at this point. And I understand that if we are to be bullish, okay, throughout the week, right, and we are to end up pushing to these highs up here and creating a higher low and continue on the higher time frame, we're going to have to come down to this 4-hour gap, or at 10 a.m., when we create another 4-hour gap, we are going to tap into it and then go higher. So the agreed upon drawn liquidity. So whether you're bullish or bearish, we're going to have to get to this 4-hour gap if we want to see some type of higher time frame continuation. Okay, so now we understand our target is very, very simple. Now, what do? We drop down to the 30-minute, we drop down to the 1 hour, we look at other things, right? We look at other ways, right? Do we have a gap right here? This gap gets this gap gets ran through right here in the 30-minute time frame, and we end up creating another gap. So let's draw this right here. There's a devil's mark right here, which is kind of shitty. Devil's mark. Okay, that's when there's no wick on top of a candle. That's kind of like that's low-key like a drawn liquidity, right? Every candle's supposed to have a wick, right? Every candle's supposed to have 2 wicks, right? So usually we end up filling it later. Now I'm going to delete that because I didn't really use that as my confluence today, but that is just an idea. We have this 1-hour rejection block. What is a rejection block? It's when it's a 2-candle formation where there is a swing high that forms after rejecting. So basically the candle after would be a rejection. Okay. If that's a bad explanation, I'm sorry. I'll explain more in the future, but this is what a rejection block looks like. Okay. And basically you can see respecting the the CE of the rejection block, which is a good sign. Now, what are our conditions for today? We want to see price 930 open up. Okay, this is the power of 3 mentality when we come into the day, right? I always think in power of 3. I want to see price open up, leave a little wick below us, not really manipulate downwards, but I will draw this 930 wick real quickly. Let's just go through it. Sorry if I'm struggling to explain, but I always try my best. 930 PO3, or just do 30-minute PO3. So what I want to see here is I want to see price open up the 930 candle, have a Judas upwards, okay, Judas swing. I want to see it manipulate upwards, and then by 10 o'clock, because it's time-based, right? PO3 is time-based, right? It's a 30-minute candle. By 10 o'clock, I want to see us back down here or lower, okay? So in the first 9:30 to 10 a.m., I want to see us come up, and then I want to see some sort of rejection, and I want to see us come lower. Now, what do we get here? We get a little inversion, and a lot of people end up taking a Judas swing. This is like an accumulation, manipulation, some distribution, which, no, this is a terrible trade in my opinion, but if you're going to take it on evals, that's fine. But on a funded account, it's kind of mid. Basically, here we get some type of rejection off of the 30-minute gap, but in my opinion, in hindsight, obviously, because I took a trade here in real time, and how I lost the trade on it. But in my opinion, after looking back at it, it's kind of not the best reaction, right? Because we're coming into the 30-minute gap. We don't want to be like wicking all the way through it. Like it just doesn't make any sense. We want to have some like tap into the gap, you know, sweep and then displace. And so when I saw this, I was like, okay, let me go shorts. And then I ended up getting stopped out around here. And then it ended up coming lower and then ended up going higher. And now what ends up happening is we just generated. So your bias is not wrong yet, because until 10 a.m. we won't know if longs are in play. Okay, because we need to inverse this gap. Okay, and we need to start pushing higher than this rejection block if we want to flip our bias and go bullish. Now, what did we do during that time? We came up, we came down, we came up, we came down. What are we doing? We're generating low resistance liquidity. We're building up LRL towards our power of 3, towards our higher time frame targets. Now, my options play is I took options here because I thought it would reject. Now it didn't reject. Then I took options up here, and that was my options play, and then I held it all the way down here, and that's how I made my money. And now in hindsight, instead of blowing my accounts in this chop, which I took a trade like somewhere here and got lost, I took a trade somewhere here and lost, like with super tight stop losses or whatever. In hindsight, the best trade was to see the LRL build up, see the resweep, wait for the next 15-minute candle to open up, which was this one, and then see how it reacts off the rejection block. Now, is it a perfect world if you know that it's going to come up to the rejection block? Yes. Okay, but when it does happen and we lost our trades here, you can obviously get a rebound, and that's what I did on options. So when we come up here, we sweep the equal highs, we tap into the rejection block, the CE of the rejection block once again, and then we start displacing lower. This is no doubt in my mind the trade of the day, because now we're not even, what time is it here? We're 9:50. There's 10 minutes to go. We're rejecting, and if we know that the 30-minute candle is going to end up closing bearish, or getting closer to the open of the candle, then we know that we could have our targets pretty much like this, and even lower. We can target the 4-hour gap because there's a bunch of low resistance liquidity build up all over here from overnight session. And so what ends up happening is we end up playing out. I end up closing my options trade around this 9:30 wick right here, and then it ends up playing out to the final TP right here. Now, do I think this was a great trade? Yes, I do. Did I take it on futures? No, I'm using hindsight. I took it on options, obviously. Is this something that you can learn from? Yes. Okay. The reason I say you can learn from this is because the price action wasn't perfect, but if you zoom out to the 15 or zoom out to the 5-minute time frame, or we'll just do the 15-minute. You zoom out to the 15-minute time frame, it looks really good. Let me get rid of this. Let me just get rid of all the drawings. Right? We zoom out to the 15-minute time frame. We'll just mark out these right here. We respected a 15-minute gap, or we respected a 30-minute gap. We respected the 1-hour rejection block, and then we ended up distributing lower. But when you look at it on the 1-minute time frame, it looks like a load of slop, right? So at the end of the day, today wasn't obvious because of the lower time frame chop, but like you just got to realize what we're doing, right? We're generating LRL. There's more LRL below. We are doing little PO3, and we're rejecting. So I did take a loss, and I can't say I was perfect today, but am I going to learn from it? Yes. I'm going to understand that shit, bro, like LRL is really that important, and high resistance stop loss are really that important, and rejection blocks are crazy. And I need to I guess I need to lock in, because now I need to get back to my 5 funded stack. Now, that's pretty much it. Like today was amazing in my opinion. Like although it was hard, I think today like really opened my eyes, and everybody can learn from that. So basically that is pretty much the end of the video. Now I'm gonna have a little talk about what happened on the accounts. I basically took one loss, or basically I took my $15,000 payout that I posted a video about yesterday, which ended me on a $60,000 a month. And then what ended up happening is I thought I would get moved to live. So I thought I would get moved to live, so I waited for an email this morning. I didn't get the email this morning, so I was like, all right, let me trade the accounts. So I ended up trading the accounts, and I only had a $2.5 thousand buffer on the accounts. And so then what ended up happening was I took my first loss, I took my second loss, and the accounts had $1,000 left. And then I was managing my options trade, so I didn't enter on futures. And by then, I just was down to $1,000 drawdown. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to hold these accounts $1,000 drawdown, so let me try to make it back quickly. And then I ended up blowing the accounts. Now, is it the end of the world? No, because I got my return on investment from them. I also won on the live account. I also am going to continue to get better and understand these, like the prop firm game, right? Like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm in a $60,000 a month from prop firms. Do I want that every single month? Is it possible every single month? No, I don't think so. I think this month was a phenomenal month for me. The only thing I could take from this is use the money and to keep investing in prop firms, open my live account and continue to focus on the skill, because eventually, 100K month is going to be maybe not next month, maybe not the month after, maybe not the month after that, but you know, maybe in 6 months, you know. So at the end of the day, yes, I blew the accounts, and yes, that's quite embarrassing what I did at the end with the $1,000 left, and I kind of blew it. But at least today I can come into the day and learn something. I could learn the right trade, right? At the end of the day, you always want to understand what was the right trade, what was the right play today. Even if you do not blow up on the charts, but you know, today I took 2 losses, and then I, you know, at the end I kind of blew up on the charts. But that's pretty much it, boys. Like you just gotta always learn, always stay not humble, but always stay learning, okay? And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's how I made money today with my options live account, but I blew my 5 trade accounts. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video and you do like my explanations, okay, they will be better as time goes on, I hope, because that's one of my goals of mine. Follow me on Instagram, join my Discord. I'm probably going to start doing live trading. Maybe I'll start doing live trading for free until I get to my funded accounts. I don't know, something I'm thinking of. But just join the free Discord. And I don't have any accounts or any prop firm affiliate codes to sell you. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter. That's pretty much it, boys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bosh.